Hard lives create hard men. Men keep to themselves and suppress their emotions. But as a masculine man, there's a flaw with this. Let's say a cup of water represents me. I'm the cup, and the water is everything I keep inside. It's memories, pain, trauma, and emotions. As time moves on, my cup gets filled with water just by nature of life. But when a cup gets too full of water, what happens when you bump it? It spills. Even though it's an accident, you start to clean it up. But when we translate the cup of water spilling to our own lives, these spills represent the times when we have bursts of anger, when you yell at somebody you love, and then you feel that pit of guilt after. It's when men get to their breaking point and they start crying for the first time in years. I remember asking college-age men what was a feeling they miss.
I guess it's a lack of a feeling of worry for the future. I liked not having that.
I miss having a crush.
Having something to look forward to. Kind of don't have that anymore.
Being content.
Being with my family.
If you look at these videos, there's literal depth in their eyes as they say these things. You can tell this kind of question unlocks a part of them that they keep hidden, but it's also the same thoughts that they can never escape. If I can notice this in a 20-year-old man, imagine what's in the eyes of a 90-year-old man. I once sat with this guy I just met whose name is Noah. We were sitting on the grass on the campus of Florida State, and I've never been in my life, and we were playing the game that me and my friends made called How Deep Will You Go? One of the questions were, when do you feel most like you? He paused, looked into the sky, and he said his ex. He told me that she brought out a side of him that nobody else knows about, but he told me he was at peace with the idea that they might just not be meant to be.
I felt the most like myself with my ex. It was like a side of me that no one else saw. It's a side of me that doesn't even come out when she's not around. Like when I'm alone, I feel most like myself when I'm with her.
Do you think you'll be with her at all in the future?
We've both seen other people and we tried it and we're like, it's not quite the same. But right now it's just not a great time in life for us to be together. And that's okay.
Later that day, he texted me telling me that he told me things that he's afraid to tell his closest friends. And this brings me to my next point. Men need other men. We function best when we have a strong support group of men all around us. This support system is at its peak when we have strong men who can also reciprocate love. But I've noticed a trend in modern friend groups, and this is especially true in men. It's shitting on each other for jokes, banter, and a bunch of things that they just keep away from each other. You might be going through something, maybe a breakup, maybe you really like this girl, but you just don't want to talk about it with your guy friends because you know they're probably gonna judge you for it. You know they're gonna just shit talk you, and you know they're just gonna crack jokes throughout the day. Of course, this isn't really an issue if it's sometimes, but the problem is this is literally all the time. We know that our male friend groups are like a tribe, and as a tribe, we feel like we should be able to open up about pretty much anything. But what happens is we open up, we get shit on, and maybe our friends do listen to us. They do take what we have to say in, but the problem is the next time we feel a little bit more reluctant to let something out. And this is a pattern that repeats itself until eventually you're closed off from your friends and you can't remember the last time you felt comfortable opening up with them. It continues until you realize the bond that you once had is just gone. You don't talk about the things you used to, and you don't bond in the same way you used to. Something is specific on my mind right now, and it's something that I think all men can relate to. Most men want so desperately to be able to talk about the problems that they have with love, specifically with women. I've noticed with my own friends that the most vulnerable conversations we have and the times when we feel like the most bonded together are the moments when we talk about our lack of love or just any problems that we have with women. These same conversations are the ones that make our connection stronger, especially when there's no pressure involved. We don't feel like we have to hold anything back. Imagine how much good it would do if a man was able to open up to his own tribe rather than oversharing to a girl who now respects him less because she views him as weak. Men don't open up to other men because they're gonna be judged. Men don't open up to other women because they know it's gonna be oversharing. Men are afraid of oversharing and being perceived as weak because they know from their past experiences that this leads to pain. And even though this may feel true, men still need emotion. We aren't equipped to feel emotions and let feelings just run through us. We are equipped with learning how to put our emotions to the side. But imagine the kind of love we would be able to feel if we were able to handle emotions. Imagine if we were able to keep the cup half full to prevent accidental spills. When as a man, we're able to open up our hearts, that's when beautiful things happen. One time I helped this girl set up a hammock. It was somebody I never met before. I met her on a college campus. After I helped her set it up, we ended up sitting in the hammock together for like 5 hours, literally 5 hours. And we ended up staying there until she fell asleep on me. And the kind of conversations we were able to have we're only there because I'm able to handle my emotions. We were able to have the kind of conversations that are really rare. She told me word for word in the hammock, "I've never met anyone like you." She told me I had a gentle energy that she's never experienced before. And I know for a fact it's because of what I've talked about in this video. I think one of the best ways to learn how to handle our own emotions is to talk about the things we feel with our boys. I think a lot of guys, specifically, the problem they have is they overshare. Specifically with girls they like. That's why a lot of guys don't open up, because they feel like it's not a good thing. But if you're never able to open up, that means you're never able to become aware of how you feel. And if you're not aware of it, how are you going to be able to handle it? If you can't handle your other emotions, how will you handle the feeling of love? The only reason the sky is so special when the sun is out is because darkness is a thing. When we're equipped to feel emotions and we become equipped to talk about the things that we don't normally talk about, we start having awareness for the things we feel and why we feel them. Because the men who can't handle the emotions, they can't control themselves. Everything that you can't control is because of the emotions you don't know how to control. When we express the things we keep hidden, we start to understand ourselves on a whole different level. We become able to connect with feminine energy better, and we can finally tell people that we love them. We can say the words "I love you" without it feeling off anymore.